it's not always need to be shared every person that you done slept with.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's quite a few overly friendly with their private part people around here.
There's some friendly ones. There's definitely some friendly ones, for sure.
But if by chance that person is very secretive and has managed to keep their
sexual life private.
That's a good way to put it.
Right.
I think we have to just go in it knowing when you're dating that person, the chances are that they have dated other people in this community. That's just the way it is.
Yes, indeed.
We face our problems every day. It seems they'll never fade away. The world may bring us down. Tonight we're gonna turn it around. So let's put it all on the table. Talk about it if you're willing and able. Life, love, and insecurities, and a laugh or two. Come and take a seat. So bring your concerns to us. Together we can discuss what's on your mind. No matter what you go through, just know we'll be here for you every time. Let's talk about it. Blind table talk. Let's talk about it. Blind table talk. We gotta be about it. Go ahead and walk the walk. So let's talk about it. Blind table talk. Let's talk about it.
What's going down, y'all? Welcome back to Blind Table Talk. I am your host, Fleeks, also known as the blind security of the community.
Yes, welcome back, y'all. I am your host, Saida Victoria, aka Sassy Sy. So glad that you guys have joined us back at the table.
Yes, indeed. We're going to have a live episode for y'all today. But before we jump into that, let's see about the week, though. How was your week, Miss Sassy?
All right. So I had a good week, as always, because it is what we make it. But
yes, indeed.
I was sad that the Prevent Blindness Aspect program that I am a part of, that ended this weekend. So I went to Washington, D.C. and spoke on Capitol Hill and had a
Represent.
Yes, a great experience with that. So for the last workshop we had, I got to share my story along with a couple of other people. And, long story short, I didn't do the ums like I had the problem with, but this time is my story is long and I make it even longer. So I am a talker. I really have to work on trying to cut down my talking. And all of you listeners know I can talk and talk and talk. And so when you only have 5 minutes, that's hard. But anyways, it was a great experience. Going to miss them. Anybody that may get the opportunity to participate in the Aspect program from Prevent Blindness, definitely jump on that. It's a great experience. And I ended my week and it was awesome. But what about you? What do you have going on? How was your week?
Oh man, I've just been working hard. Got some new projects here going for the show. I'm not going to divulge in it too much, but very excited about the ideas and plans, and just want to work it out. So it's just been a grind out week. That's pretty much it. Just been working hard.
And that's what people don't get to see with the work that we put in. It's like the back ends of things, right? Because there's so much that goes on in the back end.
Right.
And I like to keep stuff on the pot with the lid closed just until, we don't know if it might burn, boil over. So we just, until we know for sure some things are going to go down.
Once we get that ding that the meal is done, then it'd be chow time.
Right. At the table, right? Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. So we do have a great show for y'all today.
Well, hey, let's get into it.
Blind table talk, yeah.
We have coming to our BVI community seat today, y'all, a very, very amazing woman. She is a community leader. She is an entrepreneur. She is a mother. She is just all about awesome and inspiration for us all. Welcome to the table, Melva Henderson with Living Beyond Limits.
Welcome, Melva.
Welcome, Melva.
Thank you both for having me. I'm so honored to be at the table.
Oh, thank
For
you.
sure, for sure. We're glad to have you at the table with us. Yes,
Yes.
darling.
So, Melva, I want to thank you for all that you do in the blind and visually impaired community. And so I thought it'd be great for you to come and share with our listeners your organization and the greatness that you do with Living Beyond Limits. So can you tell us a little bit about Living Beyond Limits and what it is about?
Living Beyond Limits is a 501c3 nonprofit organization here in Dallas, Texas. But we also serve in other communities across the U.S. Our mission is to offer vital integrative mentoring programs for the blind and visually impaired community. And we do it through educational training, empowerment resources, and networking opportunities. It was a dream of mine, and that dream came true.
And that is tight. And that is tight. And so you said this was a dream of yours that you had. So let our listeners know, what was the inspiration of creating the LBL?
A couple of things. Actually, when I lost my vision back in 2007, it wasn't just my vision I was losing. It was also a part of me. I also lost my parents during that time. It was a series of loss. And for me, I had to figure out how can I continue to live my life, although I'm going through some of these things, and some of these things are very impactful in my life. But that was a part of actually why the name is what it is, Living Beyond Limits, because I'm continuously living. There are things that I'm going to go through in life. I can't change those things, right? And so by all of that, I'm going to continue to strive forward, and they're not going to limit me.
Yes,
That's what I'm talking about. I like that. Yes, yes, that's some powerful right there.
it is.
Y'all hear that, y'all? We don't stop living, baby. You keep on moving, you know?
Yes. So what are some of the services that LBL offers? So what exactly could you gain from reaching out and participating with LBL activities and events?
Our programs, mentoring programs, that's that one-on-one coaching. It's really the development of that person's that growth and things like that. The education part of it is having the information, the resources, knowing what's out there, what's available for you. Sometimes we don't know where to start. And so that this is one of those places where we will try to help you figure that out for you. And that's why I said we are across the US, also the world. So finding those different resources, getting you connected with services in your area is really important. Sometimes even going through those services. So having these conversations with someone that's been through some of the things that you're dealing with is very important. So it's helpful in ways you could be like, let me pick up a phone and call such and such. You get mentors when you're younger, many programs. There are so many services available for people that are younger, that's going through the adjusting period to blind, visually impaired. But
right.
Become an adult, that's and you lose your vision.
Right.
It's a big jump. It's a big in your life. So that's one of the things we really want to help with. So that's why we have our workshop training. We do things with organization. How does this look for me? Cleaning, cooking. How do these things really come into my life? Like how does that work? Sometimes even just having conversations with your family is difficult. So help with that. Like if you want a mediator, if you want someone to come in and talk with you to help you advocate for yourself, that's something that we would do. That's a part of our programs and our services that we help provide. When you help in the BVI community, we all start in a different space in our lives, right? Some of us never met a person that's visually impaired. Some of us have never been in a space of being disabled, so we don't know what we don't know. My objective is to really share with you some different stories, give you some opportunity to talk, to kind of see what it is that you're wanting. So I consider it to be more so a roadmap for you. And what we do is specialize that. So adjusting to blindness is different from each person. How you see blindness is going to be different. Some of us, I know when I first lost my vision, I didn't want to hear the word blind. It was just so scary for me. Like I was like, oh, this is not happening. Visually impaired sounded softer, so I would go with that. But even with it was like, oh my goodness, I'm telling you, my heart would beat fast. I would feel like I'm fullest. It was just like an embarrassment. And so to your head around that take a lot. And to meet someone that's impaired, that's blind, it's to see, oh, they're doing it. Like, and that really motivated me. And so that's actually one of the reasons why I create Living Beyond Limits. And so even just going out to dinner, we do meetups and going out to dinner, because that's also scary. Like, how do I order my food? I tell people, listen, if we know where we're going, if you can get it on your phone, or if you can get someone to help you read the menu, kind of have an idea of what you want, we can go from there. Or if you at this restaurant, don't be afraid to ask your waiter to read the menu to you.
Absolutely.
Just having those, things, because it's available to us. And so in order for it to be available, you have to know, hey, how do I ask these questions? And so, yeah. That's some things that we do a part with some of our programs. And there are quite other things that I want to develop within Living Beyond Limits. We are 3 years in as a full 501c3 nonprofit. We're growing. We're, forever changing. Like, the one thing we know in life is constant is change. And so you have to change and make things happen for the community that is in need of services. There's so many state services, but of course they're going to be like boom, 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 boom. And we also help with that. Like, how do I get my counselor to call me back?
Cause that's a fight within itself.
Yeah, in every state, I'm sure.
Yes, indeed. I think everybody can relate to that for sure.
Okay, that is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing the services and programs that you offer. Now, why don't you tell us about some of your reoccurring events, especially the grand old Living Beyond Limits conference that I'm so excited about as well.
So we have our Friday night supportive conversation, which is virtual on Zoom. I really enjoyed it. We actually get quite a few people that will join in. Just really happy, especially for the facilitators that'll come in. For Erica, I want to give her a shout out because she's super helpful. Also, because they have been very helpful and instrumental with everything that's going on. I want to say this because with anything that you do as a service, as a mentorship, as a resource for a community of people that have been oppressed and have been in a space of types and misconceptions about it, to have a group of people that are all blind, visually impaired, to really put their best foot forward and showing up and being like, oh, I want to be a part of that. And I'm super grateful. I'm just like, I'm blown away because you think you're doing it on your own. You be like, oh my goodness, such and such know how to do this.
Yes.
And so that's the beautiful part. It's unique because the whole board is all blind, visually impaired. But at the end of the day, like I said before, any great organization cannot succeed with one person.
Absolutely.
There's no I in team, baby. Let me tell you that.
That point right there.
And then if you think it is, then you will definitely fail. I'll tell you that.
And with that being said, you and your wonderful team, y'all put on a beautiful conference that happens kind of, it's been a traditional thing.
The conference is October 4th and 5th. From vision to execution, making your dreams a reality. And our opening ceremony is going to actually be Friday. We did a little bit of change. So we typically at one point when we're doing our social mixer, so we're going to do an open ceremony, which is similar to like an open mixer. But we'll have our keynote speakers. We have some live entertainment. It's a plated dinner. It's going to be at the Embassy Suite here in Dallas, Texas. The space there is beautiful. We actually have a really good rate for the rooms. So rooms are available if you're still interested. Registration is still open if you're interested. But yes, October 4th and 5th. So the opening ceremony is where we get our dress up on, we look nice, and we have, dinner, we talk, we discuss certain things that the topic, which is, of course, from vision to execution.
Yes.
We have our keynote speaker, but we also have a speaker that has also, put things in place, and both of these speakers are incredible. I'm super grateful for both of them. So Ariana, Miss Denara is going to be speaking. Then you'll also get a presentation from me for Living Beyond Limits that will share with you all where we come from and where we're heading, how people can get involved. Yeah. So, and And then Saturday is our expo day where we also have our workshops and seminars. And if you would like to become a vendor, this is the space for you to do that. I like to bring in different entrepreneurs and people that have organizations that are in the blind, visually impaired community. Because a lot of times we'd be like, I want to sell my product, but I don't know who to sell it to, or I don't know how to get it out there. This is one of the places where you can do that, where you can share your things. I really recommend people pull your cameras out, get your phone out, do social media on, because that's how you get noticed. That's how you get out there. Community. It's really showing up in different spaces that are events are being put on. And so this is one of those. Our workshops are free. We don't charge for them, but you're going to get a lot from these workshop trainings. And these workshops are led by individuals that are blind, that have experienced the things that we'll be talking about, adjusting to blindness, advocating for yourself, setting goals, making small habits into big, habits. What do those things look like for you? Again, everyone's development is different, but it's really been in a room with people that have experienced some of the things that you are experiencing. And then we also have a really cool feature that's coming up. Last year we did it. This year we're going to do it. It's our business panel for our blind, visually impaired entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who are wanting to become that. And so it's going to be beautiful. A presentation is going to be there for the Blind Coalition, and I'm excited about that. But you're going to hear that has experience, that has been through some of these things that really kind of paved the way for us, right? So
Yes.
Right. Sounds awesome.
Yes. And for our listeners, this is in October. So those of you that are not in Dallas, it's plenty of time to buy flights and save up and do all that type of stuff.
Put it on your calendars, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a real treat. It's very informative.
Yes, it is. It's worth it.
Been there twice already, and I have enjoyed it each time. Have learned a lot of things. A blind male who's following the business path as well. So it's definitely an awesome thing to be a part of, y'all, and you will enjoy. Trust and believe.
Yes. Melva, thank you so much for coming to the table and sharing Living Beyond Limits with our listeners. And we really appreciate you. But before you go, you must tell us, how can our listeners find Living Beyond Limits? Where are you at? Where can they find you?
Our website is www.livingbeyondlimitsus.org. You can also find us on Facebook, Living Beyond Limits. You can also find us on Instagram, living_beyond limits. If you go onto the website, you will actually see that in a menu, there is a drop down and it actually lists all of those.
Awesome. And what about an email address, just in case people don't feel like doing all that? You got an email address for them?
So it's going to be info@livingbeyondlimitsus.org. And I also have a phone number too. I know sometimes we'd be ready. We'd be like, oh no, I don't need to. I am super easy to get in contact. You can send me a text message, okay? That phone number is 972-804-0678. Again, that's 972-804-0678. Get connected, because I do Monday motivationals. I keep people updated. I actually want to start some tips and tricks on some things that you can get around the house. We can just make things accessible. Our goal is to make sure to make our lives a way that we can live life beyond limits.
Yeah, I hear from one of our great community leaders, y'all.
Get connected with them. Yes. Thank you, Melva. Blind Table Talk, yeah. All right, y'all. Well, you know what time it is. It is time for some BVI discussion.
Awesome. It sounds great. Let's jump into it. What you got for us, Sassy?
All right. So, you know how we just, going through Facebook and looking at the different things that are out there. And I just wanted to take this opportunity. We're so powerful as a platform that can expose and bring to light some of the things that happen out in society when it comes to blind and visually impaired people, right?
Yes, indeed.
So there are a couple of things that I wanted to discuss. And the first one, which I'm sure many of us can relate to, is our shopping experiences when we go to grocery stores, Walmart, department stores, all of that, those type of things. one of the questions that came up on Facebook is, looking for the ADA laws regarding if the store is required to provide someone to help us shop. I know, I've experienced this many a times and others have. And the thing is, when there is no specific law that says a store has to provide a shopping assistant for us. Okay. It is, there's reasonable accommodations that are in the ADA, laws that kind of back us up for stuff. But what is a reasonable accommodation to the stores? Are they supposed to provide a shopper for you? They don't have to. That's the thing. And I think it's just good customer service for them to provide that. But there are different, things that they say could be done. And, for example, maybe online shopping, which is not available to all of us as well,
Like that Instacart or Walmart. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But
But like
it's
you
still
said, it's
not.
not always available to everybody.
No, it's not. But there has been some experiences that in stores. I don't know. What was your worst shopping experience with a personal shopper in a store?
Let me think on it. I already got one. There, there was a time I went inside the grocery store to go make some groceries, and the wait is not really a problem because I don't mind waiting however long
Right.
need to wait to receive
Yeah.
that help. But the issue was that the person that they brought to me, we had a huge language barrier, as some people we know they like to say. This person accent was really strong, and it only seemed like she really just spoke like enough English to make it by. So the things I was asking for, she just didn't
Yeah.
understand it or know what it was. So it was definitely a hard experience with that. Eventually, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna probably just get the essentials real quick and call this a wrap because it really wasn't. It wasn't going to be nowhere close to what I was looking for, and so I just
Yeah.
like instead of being frustrated with this lady and kind of
Yeah.
giving a
Yeah.
hard time or whatnot, I was just like, let's just go ahead and cut this short and you know take the losses. It is what it is. What about yourself? What is your work experience dealing with that?
Geez, I have so many. But here's the thing. The experience, I've actually been denied. Me and some girlfriends went to, and it was a Ross store actually.
Mm.
And we were all going in. Now, the funny part is I had went in 2 days before this by myself and I got some assistance. Somebody assisted me and we did some shopping and, I spent some money in there. The next couple of days later when we went, there was three of us and we just asked for somebody to assist us with shopping. And they straight up said, we don't do that.
Mm.
And I said, excuse me, I do it here all the time. It's the local store that's close to me and I've done it many a times. Yeah, no, well, we don't do that. That's not what we do. We can't do that. And I just thought that was just like the most rudest thing. And we actually ended up leaving. They did not, help us. And I said, but you did it the other day. And well, I wasn't here the other day. And it was just an ugly thing. But when I had that happen at another store, this one was a Burlington. So I did, I went and asked them and we just stood there and, matter of fact, she said we didn't have anybody. And then as soon as, oh, you remember this when he said, as soon as we said something about ADAs, we're going to call, we have the laws, there's
I
laws
do
against
remember
this.
that. Yeah.
And then, but that was and then they gave us somebody that was going to get off in 20 minutes. And so
Mm-hmm.
that person didn't want to help. But the thing is, what that lady did not really know is that, the ADA law did not protect us. And require them to give us a shopper.
Right,
But
because the law says reasonable accommodation, not
mhm,
that it's required.
exactly, right. Yeah. So those that's the kind of things that I did because those are my bad experiences. Now, there's other times where the people are nasty, and I have got people, the shoppers. I've had some that did not understand English. I've also got some that were, um, I don't even know how to say, but they were, they were disabled workers. Okay.
Mm, yeah,
And it was in the capacity of, had cognitive issues. And so it's almost like these people, when they are irritated with me because I'm like, I'm willing to wait, they will give me the worst person they can think of to help me because that person did not have the cognitive skills to assist me, even though, bless his little heart, because he really was trying. But that
right,
was one of those times where I was going to cut it short too, because, um, we would be here all day, with the efforts. Now he really was trying, and he was like, no, no, we'll find it. And my patience, oh my gosh, like, Lord help me, because I'm just like, oh my, I'm just like, no, no, it's okay. It's no, no, I'll find it. And I'm like, God damn it, no, but I can't be mean to him because he's just trying so hard. And I
right,
wanted to slap that manager. It's like, she did this on purpose. Right. She did this on purpose because she knows that it was not going to be a smooth experience for me. And I think that they do that, with the language barriers and all that stuff. So that because, they're already irritated. So, you want to make a fuss about it? I got somebody for you type of thing.
So that's funny. I've actually had this conversation with another blind individual, and was just wondering like why haven't retail stores, grocery stores really made this, like a position like as they have when they go pick up the grocery carts or take your groceries out to your car, and the person they informed me, it was like, well, probably because it's the business side of it doesn't financially fit, most of the grocery stores to create that position because they still have to pay someone
Right.
hourly
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
thing. And if you're only getting, maybe
Yeah.
four blind people throughout the day who's needing a
Yeah.
personal
If
shopper,
if
that
that,
if
right.
that right, that doesn't it doesn't really
Yeah.
give the need for that type of position. And I'm just like, as a person who I like going inside the stores, ordering online or through the apps is cool. However, you're gonna get the same mess up that you probably get inside the store, so I'd rather touch the food or see
Yeah.
what I'm actually getting. So I like going inside the grocery store and knocking that out. And it's just like, man, to know that this only is a reasonable requirement and not something that's actually required,
Yeah.
it makes it a little frustrating. But I feel if you go in there with just like they say, you get more bees with honey instead of vinegar. Just go in there
Yeah. That's
with
true.
your nice voice, just
Yeah.
and be polite about it. 9 times out of 10, you really going to get that help. Like what you think about that?
Well, okay. The thing is about the online thing, not everybody that is blind or is tech savvy. Okay. You have people that may be newly blind or, are just elderly. A lot of elderly people don't do technology. They don't do that online shopping stuff. So that cannot be the reasonable accommodation for everybody. Okay. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's not, it ain't feasible. But the thing for me is my money is green just like everybody else's.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so if I'm gonna go here and I'm spending and especially, you know what, especially Walmart, okay, because I'll go in Walmart, plan on just buying a few things, and I'll end up spending $200-300 very easily. Okay, so you mean to tell me your hourly employee, I don't know what is it, $10, $15, I don't even know how much Walmart people make, but minimum wage. Okay, let's
Mm-hmm.
just say whatever your minimum wage is, you even 3 hours, say, $50 max for that person's 3 hours of their time, and I'm spending $300 in here. That person can assist me while I spend my green money in your store. And I
Hmm.
don't understand why stores would have such a problem with that. Now, I get when stores are busy, the times, especially like after work hours and things like that. So this is why I was like, okay, so what can we do, and in our community to make it a little bit better for the stores when we're coming in, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
There's a couple of things I thought of, and I'm like, um, okay, which I've done before too, but you can call them ahead of time and ask to speak to the manager and maybe ask them what is a good time for me to come in so that I can get some assistance because I don't want to inconvenience your establishment. Maybe
Hmm.
that, right? Um, maybe like we've done many a times, you have that patience. Hey, I know things are busy. I'm willing to wait until you have somebody, available to assist me.
Right.
Now, there's a limit to that too, because I'm not going to wait all damn day either. But
No, 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 no.
but
I give you
I'll
an
wait.
hour, hour and a half.
Yeah, I exactly, and I will plan for that if I'm not able to call and get ahead. And then another thing, which doesn't always work either, like going early in the morning when there may not be too many people in the store.
Hmm.
But I think you remember we did that in Beaumont though. Remember we went early in Beaumont and we had such a terrible time because they didn't have enough staff there.
Nope. And I've actually been told by like Kroger and Walmart, how about you come in the morning? That's when most of like our elderly come in, early in the morning, right when the store opens. And I've done that. And like what you said, I've been hit with that same excuse. Oh,
Right,
we're so sorry we do not have enough staff to assist. And I'm just
right.
like, but it ain't really nobody in here.
Yeah. No, I
All
know.
right.
I
All
know.
right. Okay. I understand.
And then here's the thing, when I do finally get that shopper, right?
Hmm.
I'm walking up and down the aisles and I see workers stocking shelves all over the place. Like you couldn't have one of these stalker people could have assisted even, I know that's not their job, but if you don't want to take somebody off the register or off of somewhere, a position that you think is more important, how about one of these guys that's just stocking here? Or women, whatever it is, they're just stocking the shelves right now. Can they can't help me for a couple of hours or even an hour? I'm not even, you know, the longer I'm in there, the more money I spend. So that'd be
Right.
beneficial to you. But if you don't want me in there a long time, fine, I'll just hurry up and go quickly. But regardless, send me somebody else. So, but
Somebody, you can even give a door greeter. I mean, most of the time, door
right,
greeters don't be at the door anyway. Or you could send me the person that y'all send out to go get those carts.
the
And
cards,
I'm
yes.
sure they will be appreciative of that little break walking around the store, helping someone, and then I get back to going to grab those carts that still be sitting out there in that parking lot.
Yes, I know. And by the way, that reminds me of one we had at Kroger. Shout out to Joseph. Remember Joseph?
Oh, Joseph, my
He
dude.
was such again, he no longer works there, but that was the one. It was so funny. He's the one that let me feel he had an afro that was like,
Yeah,
I swear, like 6 inches high off of his head. He was so adorable.
that was a
But
good
he
dude.
was
I
a
mean,
great
he looked
helper.
out
Yes.
for us.
Yes, he did. And so I just, because there are good people out there. And it's not only that, sometimes it's not the workers that don't want to help. They want to help you, but their manager won't allow it. So, you know, got to do better with these, stores and these retail places, you guys, blind people's money is just as good as y'all's. You should make more of an effort to make us feel inclusive in your establishments because a lot of times they make us feel like outsiders or outcasts or
Yes, yes,
less
indeed.
thans, but
Not everybody has a provider, wants a
yeah,
provider.
yeah,
So,
right, yeah,
that's not the valid excuse like, oh, have you no, 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 no. Some people
yeah,
really choose to use their independence. And I mean, just like you have the
yeah,
handicap placards or the ramps for, it should be okay to have someone available when you see a blind individual come inside the store and just want some shopping assistance. It's not
Right.
hard. It's not
Not
hard.
that who'd you bring with you? And I've had somebody tell me that before. You need to bring somebody with you. No, I don't.
No.
And just like I did, okay, you know what? You don't have anybody to help me. How about this? I'll go find the stuff myself. And I hope you have everything in this damn store labeled in Braille too, even though I don't read Braille like that. But I don't care. That's my reasonable accommodation. So I can go by myself. Is everything in this store labeled in Braille? It's not. So there goes that, I don't know. But
Uh,
if not, I'm going to go knock down everything. There's liability for you right there. I will
what?
knock down every
Oh,
damn thing I
excuse me.
see.
Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, my fault. My fault. I wasn't trying to do that. My bad. My bad. You
I
know.
will make somebody come help us because that's just, that's not even right.
And I've heard someone use Ira and Be My Eyes. The Ira thing, minutes I feel just that's not enough time. You know,
Yeah.
you
No.
end up spending an hour and that's like killing your whole Ira. And the Be My Eyes is just I don't know. The Wi-Fi not
Mhm.
always, you know.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
either
So
of them. And that's it's just going to take forever. I'm just,
yes.
it's, I need to get a can of peas. So we're going to go through and look through all these cans to find a can of peas. I mean, geez, and these cans are small. So, you know, but so yeah, do you have any suggestions on what somebody can do to make the experience better? I know we had the calling, that's if you're able to get through, going early in the morning, which as we know doesn't always work. Um, but I can't think of anything else that would
I'm really blanked out. Those are really all the tips that I would
patience,
suggest. Just patience.
patience.
Know that, it can be a difficult task at times, but it's a doable thing. You just got to have a lot of patience dealing with this, y'all. Just know that it's
Yes.
not a requirement, it's a reasonable accommodation. So we have to be mindful of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's courtesy from the store. It's like it's at the store's discretion. So you might have stores that are better, but hey, don't forget if you get, and which is what I should have did with Ross, if you do get problems or you get like call headquarters, go above these people, make some calls, and then let people be known. And I tell you this, one of my friends, she called the news, had news in front of the, like, you know, bad publicity is not a good thing for these stores. So, it would behoove them to give us some good customer service. All right. So yes, that was good, good, good. So what do we have next at the table? What's the next VVI discussion?
Well, we're going to stay on this topic of assistance, and we're going to talk about receiving assistance in the airports, dealing with airlines.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Yes, indeed, because that can be a little bit of a horror story itself.
Oh my goodness.
My experience, I have a guide dog, and so we're very independent. We move around quite well. However, the way our paratransit works out here in Houston, there's a certain drop-off location at the airport. And sometimes, depending on the airlines that you have to take, you got to go to a whole nother terminal. And that could be a little, difficult within itself. And so I've asked, a person who was working at the airport, this actually was United Airlines, and I was flying Spirit at the time. And so I asked one of the United Airline people, hey, would you mind directing me to Terminal A so I can get over to Spirit? And their thing was, well, sorry, sir, you're not flying with United, so we're not able to help you.
Oh no.
And I'm just like, but it's the airport. It's airline. Like, I'm just
Right.
trying to get over to this other airline so I catch my flight. And you telling me because I'm not flying with you guys, I can't receive any type of help.
Oh
And
no.
it took one of the dudes who actually, worked there. He was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go for this, man. I'm gonna take you, dude. Don't no worries. And
Right.
I'm like, I'm not trying to get you in trouble, my man. He's like, nah, because it makes no sense. You're gonna mess around and miss your flight. I can understand we got construction going on and the train is not really working well, so we got to take another
Yeah.
route to get over to Terminal A. And you probably wouldn't have known this just going by yourself with your dog or whatnot. And I'm just like,
Hmm.
man, you know what?
Yeah.
Blessings, my dude, for sure. Like real talk. But I've experienced that like more than one time though. So this is like
Yeah.
this is a ongoing type of thing, and I'm just like, why? Why do airlines keep saying this? Like you have to be flying with them to receive assistance. Like that, I don't
Well,
know. To me, that don't make no sense.
right, but why didn't they call? Because what about the airport people? Because that doesn't work. That works for the airport, not for an individual airline. Could they not have called someone to come assist you?
I asked about that. Like they told me, you're not flying with United, so we're not able to help you.
Oh, see, that's when I would have acted a
Straight up
fool.
like that. And I know people would say like, well, why you just didn't pull like Ira or Be My
Oh my
Eyes like
God,
we talked
that's
about before? And I'm just
yeah,
like, in the airport, like I would love to use Ira and Be My Eyes, but the Wi-Fi is so spotty that
yeah,
it doesn't do anything. It doesn't make it a successful walk. There's always dropping the video freezes or
yeah.
something
You
like
have to
that. So
stop because you lose the connection, right? And you have to
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I
That
mean,
definitely,
I do the right thing. I get to the airport at least, 2 hours, an hour and a half before my flight. And
yeah,
even that little time, man, that's not enough just
right.
to deal with, the traveling through an airport. What about your experience, Sassy? You ever had anything like that?
Yeah, I have. I'm a frequent flyer. And it's crazy because United, I had a terrible experience. United, I just don't like United. Um, but the thing is about these airports and airlines, again, it is courtesy, If you see me standing next to what they call them desks. I don't know what they, when the ticket right before the check-in, when you see me
Hey,
standing,
check-in booth.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they say, it's time for pre-boarding, blah, 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 blah. So I'm standing up because I know this is my time to pre-board.
Okay.
So I'm standing there and, all right, everybody pre-boarding. Okay, now we are going to zone two, blah, blah, blah. And I'm still standing there. And zone three, okay, this is your final. And finally, I'm just like, hello, excuse me, oh, how can I help you? And I want to say, but what do you mean? How can you help me? What do you think? I'm like, well, this is my flight.
Hmm.
And she was like, oh, well, I thought they were coming back. Somebody was coming back to get you. I
Oh,
said,
no, she didn't.
who was coming back to get me? Number one. And number two, don't you think you could have checked or asked me that? You think I'm just standing here for fun? You would think if somebody sees somebody standing there for at least, what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they would say, oh, ma'am, are you okay? Did you need some assistance? How can I help you?
Nah, they think you're a mannequin. That's
Yeah.
all.
I
You
just stood
posing.
there and so I just was so frustrated. And so she was like, well, I'm then she's gonna say, well, I'm gonna call for someone to come and, assist you down. And I'm like, so now we have to wait I said, one of you guys can't just walk me down. I don't have to have a wheelchair. I can grab somebody's shoulder. Um, and then kind of like what happened with you, she was like, well, I have to call them. And so the other flight attendant was like, well, I can walk her down, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. We're, again, customer service, right? Why
Hmm.
would you not try to be? Because, honestly, if you put me to the edge of the ramp when I can walk down there myself, it's a narrow walkway. It's not a big thing, but for
Maybe
some
one or
reason they
two
don't.
turns is not
Yeah, I
terribly
mean,
hard
it's
at
it's
all.
it's gonna figure out. I mean, at some point I'm gonna get to the damn plane door. Okay,
Exactly.
but I get it, they want to, but I just feel, again, customer service, courtesy. I have been actually left before. They have changed terminals or changed
Oh
gates,
man.
and I don't know if I didn't realize, but I was already there for an 8 hour layover, so the gate changed a couple of times. The airport, help people were supposed to come back and check on me. Nobody did. I had to, like you were talking about the IRA, I had to try that. That took about 20 minutes because of the freezing of the camera. I mean, it's just so many issues that can come about
Yes,
when we're,
indeed.
flying, when we're at these airports. Again, that's the thing about patience, but some of these, and Southwest is, you know, they've always been, I like Southwest, right? And
Hmm.
so you can't blame one bad apple for everything. But one of we were on the plane, and they usually ask us to wait while they, you know, till everybody gets off the plane so that when
Hmm.
the wheelchair comes and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we're sitting there, and it was me and my friend, we were sitting there, and the stewardess comes, "Well, are you guys going to get off the plane?"
Oh no.
And I said, "Excuse me?" She was like, "Yes." And I said, "Well, we were just waiting well, as long as you guys are sitting here waiting, we cannot get off the plane." And she said it just like that, I swear.
Ah, girl, I would still
We
be sitting there.
cannot, we cannot get off the plane. And I said,
Oh, okay.
okay, well, you could have just said that. And I said, and there is a better way to come at me with that. And so the
Mm,
other stewardess that was behind me, she was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I said, it's not for you to apologize. I said, she's just rude. And that was very unnecessary. And she
real
just sat there
talk.
quiet. And so we got off. I said, all you had to do was let me know what you wanted us to do. And that was a customer service thing again, because she was just
Mm.
rude. But, you know, oh my God, see, there goes my talking. Cause where
But
were
see,
we?
I've actually had the opposite of that experience where, they was telling me like, oh well, there's gonna be someone that's gonna meet you at the top, of the gate right
Mm-hmm.
there. So just go ahead, step off right here. And I'm like, all right, cool. I got you. No problem. I do that. And as
Yeah.
I'm walking, I'm following the ramp or whatnot up to the gate. I get there and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still kind of sighted, even though I'm totally blind. So I stand there and I look around and I'm like, okay, nobody has not greeted me yet.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, hello,
Mm-hmm.
hello, and the person I guess that was on the plane with me that was like, you need some help. I'm like, yeah, I'm actually looking for like the wheelchair people. They're supposed to be assisting me. It was like, well, there's nobody standing here, and I'm like,
Mm.
well, the flight attendant just told me that it's gonna be somebody waiting up here for
Which
me to
which
help me
you
to
should have known
baggage.
that, because the thing is, if they were up there waiting, they would have came down the ramp. They were just trying to
Right.
get you off the plane.
That and exactly
And they
and
should have
that
told you that.
and exactly what they did. So I actually ended up running into like what you call, the little pre-board desk.
Yeah.
Ran into one of the clerks there, and I was like, "Hey, I need to get to my other gate because I have a connecting flight." And this was in Dallas. I was at the Dallas
Right.
airport,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, okay. Well, let me find someone because I can't leave my station or whatnot." I'm like, "All right, cool." Or you could just, if you don't mind, just telling me how to get to, look at my boarding pass and tell me which gate I need to get to, and just give me the
Yeah.
directions to get there. I tried myself. And she was like, well, let me look it up. They just changed your gate. Actually, and I'm just like, wait, something's going wrong
Yeah.
here because she was way too panicked. So they finally
Right.
get somebody to come like scoop me and ride me over in one of those little carts
The
and
cards.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, all right, this is about to be difficult and whatnot. But the dude ended up telling me, he was like, man, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened, but your flight is gone.
Oh my gosh.
And I say, what? I said, why she didn't tell me this? Like I've been trying to get over to my gate. He's like, I don't know. I'm just an assistant person. I don't know what's going on. And I'm just like, man, this is like bad
Wow.
communication, like lack
Yeah.
of communication, just all the way around. Like from the
Right.
the, the flight attendants on the plane telling me that it was gonna be somebody at the top of the gate waiting for me, from the clerk lady
Yeah.
telling me about my gate changing and everything. There's just bad communication all the way around. And we experience that sometimes. And so, like you say, Sassy, traveling, you just gotta have the patience, man, because you just never know what you go right into with these things, man.
No, I know. Because then even when you get assistance, you have to wait for the will. I've almost missed flights having to wait for somebody before I even get through TSA to take
Yeah.
me through TSA. And they pick. And so again, you're supposed to get there early enough so that you don't have to run into those. But sometimes you can get there early enough and you're still sitting there waiting an
Still
hour
sitting there.
for
Yep.
somebody to come and assist you there. I mean,
Yes, indeed.
I wish that there was easier ways for us to do this on our own, you know, which I would be willing to try. And I have tried, but like I said, that the IRA thing is just it's not reliable enough
The
for
Wi-Fi
me
is just
to
not
do.
strong enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
totally agree.
yeah. So, but there's, many different stories of traveling and airport horror
Oh, we can
stories and
go
all
on
of
for
that. So,
days.
yeah.
This will be a
So,
whole episode itself if we
right.
just keep down this path, like for
So,
sure.
yes, but anybody wants to share their stories, we would
Y'all
love
know what to
to.
do.
And I was thinking too, when people want to share their stories, and well, of course, we'll keep them anonymous, but we would love to post them in the Facebook group just to share some experiences. I think that would be good too.
I would love to
Um,
hear about your grocery store experiences or your airport experiences or the train, because
uh-huh,
I know some people still take Amtrak and all that good jazz. So,
uh-huh,
yes, please indeed
right.
drop it into our group.
Yes. Drop it in, or you can email it to us and we'll drop it in info@blindtabletalk.com.
I feel like you
So,
got one more story for us, though,
well,
Sassy. Like,
okay, it's not, it's just a little thing that I ran across that I wanted to
doom,
share
doom,
with everybody.
doom. What you got for us?
No. So I came across an article and a news clip, right?
Hmm.
There was a lady who was denied access to a church because she had a guide dog.
Mm,
I just I
that
thought that
hurt.
was I mean, the most evil thing to me. Like, because when you think church, they're supposed to welcome everybody, right? I mean, they
You
say,
would think so.
hookers come there, drug
Come as
dealers,
you
and
are.
like, yes, they want you
Right.
to come there. They want
Hmm.
that to, but, but if, but don't come if you got a guide dog, because we won't let you in. And I just think of like, where is whatever faith or religion you have, it's supposed to be a welcoming, inclusive thing, right?
Hmm.
So, but here's the crazy part. Um, ADA, churches don't have to abide by those laws. So they
Nope.
were totally legal in refusing that woman access, which is sad.
Yes, indeed. I would like to say that I'm shocked at this, even though this happened in Bryan, Texas, and we're in Houston, Texas, but this has happened. I've experienced this with my guide dog, and that is the legal right. A church or a private homeowner has the right to deny you interest with your guide dog. And
That's
that is the
crazy.
most craziest thing to
What
me
was
when I
your
first
reason?
became a teen.
What did they tell you? What was your reason for being denied? What did they tell you?
It's a silly reason. I don't know if it's because I was dealing with an elderly person or whatnot, but she was like, "I'm sorry, baby, just the dog ain't got no soul. We can't allow interest. Like it's just hygiene." I'm just like, my dog is clean. He's groomed, hair slicked back, like looking good. And I'm just like, really?
No
Like
soul, as
no
in
soul, no.
so they only so
So we
be,
we can't pray over the dog. So dogs go to heaven is right. This is what we're doing.
all dogs don't go to heaven.
All
They ain't got
dogs
no
don't go to
soul.
heaven. We just denying our dogs in here, right? So
Wait,
me
but
and my team, my guide dog, I cannot enter this church because he is a dog.
no, so you're not going to be able to, be saved,
Mm-mm,
because the only way for you to go and get saved, quote unquote,
mm-hmm,
is going through that church, and they won't
mm-hmm.
let you in.
No blessings.
So, damn you to hell because you have a dog,
All
apparently.
the way. With gasoline draws on. I'm talking about just down, gone, boy.
That's isn't that crazy? I'm so disturbed by that. I just feel like no church should do that, especially when you say, oh, our doors are always open for everybody, but so not
But
to
it ain't.
blind people, not to blind people with
No,
dogs.
not to guide dogs. Because
Yeah,
I could have came in. I had to go put the dog in the car or something like that. I could have came in, but because I had a guide dog and because this lady had a guide dog, we can't come
yeah.
in.
That's not, but that's the thing. You're taking away. I mean, if that is the way that person, you know,
Right,
sees, that's
right.
their
Their
eyes.
tool.
Yes,
Exactly.
their tool.
Exactly.
So. So even to say, well, leave your dog outside, which, we all know I would never leave my guide dog outside.
Oh no, I ain't
Well,
happening.
but leave your dog outside and you can come in, but now you're gonna you disable me even more because I'm in an unfamiliar place and I have no eyes two times. You know what I mean? Because I don't have my dog's eyes. I already don't have my eyes, and now you done took my dog's eyes from me. And I just think that is so crazy.
As we know, it is a legal right of theirs to deny us with the guide dog.
Yeah, and it's going to be a battle that, we're going to have to fight and continue to fight. But at the same time, I want to bring some awareness to it, some shame to these churches because you should not be doing that and denying anybody access to
Shame the devil, baby. Shame the
place
devil. Let me stop.
to your place of worship. How dare
Yeah,
you? But,
real talk.
hey, it is what it is. But
It is.
great discussion. If anybody wants to chime in, again, as always,
You know what to do.
yes, email info@blindtabletalk.com or visit our Facebook group and post in there.
Blind table talking.
So let's jump into our BVI relationship talk. What you got for us, Sassy?
All right. So we have a question that came into the table.
Okay, okay.
Now, do we have any tips on how to meet someone in the BVI community that has not been with everybody?
Ooh.
Okay. Alrighty. And then the second part of that was every time I meet someone interesting, I find out that they have been with at least two or three others that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, oh my. All right. Okay. I'm gonna let you take this one first. Go ahead, brother.
Of course, I'm taking this one first. All right, all right. Look here, person. Our community is small,
So
and
small.
it's unfortunate, but there's only so many of us. And if you have a preference, like you only date a certain group, then that's what you're gonna tend to run into. And I would advise, honestly, it really gonna come down to communication. You have to communicate with the person that you're interested with, and really do your research. Like, find out if this is completely done. This is either could be before your time or hopefully not during your time. But it's all about communication because you're gonna run into this a lot because our community is so small. What you say, Sassy? You agree with that?
Yes and no, I guess. Okay. So, like you said, first of all, our community is small, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
in the bigger picture, sighted people, if they have multiple options of sighted people and who to their dating pool. The BVI
Right.
community dating pool is small, but
Yeah.
and so if you keep it in that demographics of just
Right.
blind people, which is, what I choose to only date blind people. And some of us do, and some don't, but that's a personal preference
Mm-hmm.
of each. But just know, there's not 100,000 virgins who've never been in a relationship running around in this community.
Not
Okay.
at all.
So you're going to probably deal with somebody who has dealt with somebody. That's just the way that it is. And you say research, but I'm like, research what? I mean, so does it make a difference? Do you want to know? So if you're dating somebody, are you going to ask them, well, I need to know who's everybody you dated before I start dating you? So what do you mean by research?
I wouldn't say I want to know everybody that you dated. However, though, if you know that I'm in like an organization or, in a sports club and one of your exes like right there beside me, like 100% all the time, I would like to know, like, hey, I actually used to have dealings with this person. It's no big deal. This was like, before your time or whatnot. But just in case, something might come up, like, hey, this is what it was. I actually dealt with this person for a minute, but it just didn't work out. All right, cool. That's before my time or whatnot. Now I know. So if anything, out of conversation was to come up, I'm not shocked. Like, wait a minute. How you know she got a beauty mark on her ankle right there? Like
Oh my God,
that's
stop it. No.
I'm just saying, just something
Okay,
like that, like
but
anything.
all right, but okay. So I mean that's all good, but sometimes people so I get it. So if I'm, with somebody for, a number of years, engaged, serious relationship, then I can see where I'd want to know. But would you want to know every person that I may have had sex with?
Hell no. No. That's where the downfall comes. Because I mean,
No, see, I think I would though.
so you want to know every you would want to know like every
No,
little
I'm
female that
saying in your scenario that you just gave, if I'm in
right.
some place and I'm dealing with somebody every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just starting to date this person, right? I would want them to tell me if they have had a sexual relationship with Betty Sue over here, who I'm working with every day.
And that's agreeable
Whether even
because
if it's
that's
just
when
a
that
screw.
information should be allowed, like it should be put out there. Because you working with this person, you're around this person on a consistent basis. So
Even if it was just sex, I would want to know that because that's embarrassing. I'm saying here, oh, I have a guy, he's so great. Da, 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 da. And she's like, yeah, well, I did him a few times. He ain't all that great, but so I'm just, it's embarrassing for me to think that, be sitting here talking about somebody, which I mean, I don't do anyways, but it just say it comes up, or, the person I'm dating happens to come and meet me at the event and show up to support me at the event. And this other person next to me was like, well, is that Tyrone? Girl, I did Tyrone a few times. Like, that's not something I want to hear like that because you know what I mean?
true that. I get that. And that's what I say when the information needs to present itself. Because I mean, I could have smashed somebody all the way in Cali just because I went to a guide dog school out there, but doesn't mean that I'm going to see this person at a event here in Houston. You know what I mean? So that person is out of sight, out of mind. So there's that
Unless,
information not
unless,
needed to be shared.
unless you're
Mm-hmm.
at an event and that person shows up. And
And
so
like I said, now it's time for the information to present itself because it just so happened like
I don't
Betty
think so. I
Sue
don't
don't walk
believe.
through the door.
Mm-mm.
So I'm about
I
to
don't
go
think
through the
so.
line and be like, yeah, we talking and whatnot. Just for your information, look here. I kind of got around in the blind community a little bit. I done been with a girl over
Dude,
here.
I wish you
I
would not
done
say
I
that. That is
I
not
done
okay.
I done
Nope.
seen no girl over here in
Mm-mm.
Florida. So I
No,
done had my little
no.
time in New
Mm-mm.
York.
No, no,
Went
no,
out there
no.
to
Stop, stop, stop. Note for future dating. Do not tell any women that you done got around in the blind community. Not a good look.
exactly.
Not a
So
good
it's
look.
like when you're getting to know this person and hooking up or whatnot, it's not always need to be shared every person that you done slept
Well,
with.
I'm gonna tell you right now, there's, because we do have, there's quite a few, overly friendly with their private part people around here.
There's some friendly ones.
And
There's definitely some friendly ones for sure.
so chances are somebody's going to hear something or know something or have heard something, in the past. But if by chance that person is very secretive and has managed to keep their
Sexual life private. Yeah.
yes, yeah, yes, that's a good way to put it.
Right.
And then, just to say that person, finds out later because, men talk, but women talk too, right?
Right.
So, um, I think we have to just go in it knowing when you're dating that that person, the chances are that they have dated other people in this community. That's just the
Yes,
way it
indeed.
is. That there's
Yeah.
no way around that.
Just too
Um,
small.
it is. It's too small unless you, go outside this community because, you know, I don't care if one can live in New York, one can live in California. We all still know about it. Like it's just,
Especially
it's
with these new platforms, information gets around.
yes,
It gets around.
exactly.
Social media and everything. So I mean, like she said, you most likely going to run into someone in this community that has dealt with someone And most of the time, you just got to communicate and just, establish that with that person, and, get that trust if you can.
Just a little heads up if you did a few of my homeboys, just, a little heads up. And again, remember I always say this, informed consent, let me know and let me decide if I want to deal with you based on who you've dealt with.
Right.
Because that could be something too. I mean,
yeah, it could be.
I've seen some people, I'm like, ew, you did ew. I'm good. Thank you.
Right. Like, ooh, I can't believe. What was you thinking? Was you sipping? You was a little tipsy? What happened? A little pity?
And my reasons are mainly because I know that person that you have been with has been with quite a few people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I value my life too much to even take those type of chances because, there's a lot of things out there, and our community is very small. But at the end of the day, to answer this question, we can, we went on our own little tangent thing.
Right.
But
it happens. It happens.
At the end of the day, please know, and we all should know this, that, most adults have been with other people in their lifespan, and it may or may not happen to be somebody that just because we're all in this community. That's it. I mean, you deal with
That's
it.
Really what
Either
it
deal
is.
with it or don't date. Don't date in the blind community, which I have friends that do that. I know people that I have girlfriends that will not date blind men because they're just, they've been passed around. Everybody done had that person. The blind community just passes people around, and and it may look like that. It is somewhat like that because, again, if it was a bunch of sighted people, we wouldn't even notice because the options are so open. Yeah.
And for us in the community, just comfortability sometimes, and you just gotta deal with it or don't deal with them.
Yeah, that was what I was. Thank you. That was exactly. That's the answer to the question. So either you deal with it or you don't.
Yep, simple as that.
All right, y'all. Well, that time has come. We are so glad that you joined us at the table.
Wait a minute. Time already? Hold up.
Yes, it is.
But wait. We forgot. We got to talk about our winners for the month, man.
Oh, of course we do.
Our raffle winners. Who we got for?
Yes, we do. All right, guys. So we have our monthly BTT raffle. So we have 2 that we do each month.
2 lucky winners. Uh-oh.
Yes. So our monthly email subscriber winner is Greg Lindbergh. So that is Greg Lindbergh. Congratulations.
Congratulations for sure.
Our second winner is for our FB post participation raffle. And that one is Gloria Graves. Graves. So congratulations to you.
Congratulations, you two.
Yes,
indeed. We appreciate y'all for real.
Yes, we sure do. And I just want to remind all of our listeners how that they can have a chance to win as well. So the first one is, of course, just joining our email list. All you have to do is subscribe to the BTT email list, which you can do on our website, and you will be entered automatically every month. You will have a chance to win. And the second way is by our FB posts that we do in our Facebook group, Blind Table Talk.
Gotta participate.
It's exclusive for both. There are posts that come in there randomly that say a raffle entry post. Any post that says that will get you entered into the raffle.
Just gotta comment, y'all.
Yes. So please, participate. We appreciate you all and want to show you all that appreciation by giving out some prizes. So to our winners, congratulations again. And email has been sent to you. If you're hearing this and have not received that email, which was sent, then please feel free to reach out to us.
Yes, indeed. And y'all know what to do. Reach us at info@blindtabletalk.com. And also, you can go onto our website at blindtabletalk.com. So
Yes.
please feel free to, look that up and get into our post. And, you could be a lucky winner too.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you all so much for listening. We appreciate your time, and it will not be the last time. Hope to see you soon at this table.
So y'all already know your favorite table. Be blessed, y'all.